Hey everyone, thank you so much for stopping by. Today I'm going to talk about goals, setting them, when to set them, how to start, when to start, and what to do when you get unmotivated. I've been there. First of all, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Sarah. I'm an artist, entrepreneur, and best-selling Amazon author. A little bit about my journey. For those of you who don't know, about 6 years ago, you would not have recognized me today. I was 130 pounds overweight and didn't know who I was. I was lost and in a relationship with someone I didn't respect. And honestly, I didn't respect myself and who I was anymore. So I started and I established, first of all, some goals. I watched this Netflix documentary, and it was called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. And it changed my life. I highly recommend checking it out. Anyway, this guy was telling about how he had gone to the doctor and had multiple health issues, and he was just about to get on some more medication. And he said, there's got to be a better way. And he started juicing. He started juice cleanse and basically only had juice vegetables for about a month straight. And he lost like over 50 pounds, I think, in 1 month. And he began this immeasurable, really awesome health journey, and he documented it. And basically I was like, I need to change. And so that really was set me on a trajectory of not only being healthy physically, but also how to get healthier spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and in relationships. Fast forward a few years, I got into Tony Robbins and was able to go to one of his last live events in November of 2019. And I walked on fire, and it was just an amazing event. And during that event, he talked about the wheel of life. And I've got a couple notes here, so bear with me here. And what the wheel of life is basically he talked about how there's different areas of your life. And one is physical health, mental health, another is mental health, another is relationships. And then you have finance, and then you have your spirituality, time management, personal growth, and your life purpose. And then you also have your career and mission. And what I loved about this tool that we did is basically we could categorize our life and gave ourselves a rating from 1 to 10 in each of those categories, and gave ourselves a starting point. So again, when you're getting ready to start a goal or start changing your life, this is a great place to start. You can rewind this and go to that where we're at, or message me and I'd be happy to walk you through this, or send you or email you the information that I have as well. But the thing that I love about this process is that I was able to identify where I needed the most improvement. And a few of the areas that I categorized myself were my health, my career, finances, and relationships. And at the time I was in a really good relationship, and I was in a position where I was able to enjoy that for one of the first times in my life. And but really it was about establishing those boundaries and being able to decide on what I want in a relationship and who I want to be with, and also to learn to love myself, right? So yeah, I encourage you to categorize where you're at on a scale of 1 to 10 in those areas. Again, going over their physical, mental, relationship, finance, spirituality, time management, personal growth, life purpose, career, and mission. And so I'm just going to go over some things that, like I mentioned about health for me, that's been a huge area that I've improved. And I have to be honest, I have plateaued, and even this last year, for the last month, where I've gained a few pounds at the end of the year, and I used to walk every day, and I haven't been. And so it really affects me mentally, where, I was just talking with my boyfriend last night about how much better I feel mentally and emotionally when I exercise, because I don't know about you, but I just need that movement. to be able to work through emotions and different things. The end of the year is really hard for a lot of us, and we get in and we stay inside. We don't have as much vitamin D with the sunshine, and that just really affects us. And we're in front of like the TV. We watch a lot more TV and eat a lot of sugar and stuff like that. And so if you're like me, then you know the holidays are really difficult. Plus, also you add on the different things that maybe you've had, like myself, where my parents aren't around, and there's some strained relationships in my life, and a lot of that just adds to the pressure of the holidays. And if you're like me, that it's kind of hard. So again, it's very important for me to have my routine for exercising, and I'm just got done exercising a little bit ago. I've got sweat coming down my back, and it feels really good though, because like I said, I haven't been exercising as much last month as I need to, really. And but it's a journey. And so again, I just want to encourage you to just do it. Just start somewhere, whether that's the beginning of the year, like we have this opportunity right now, or tomorrow is January 1st, 2022. And it's a great time for a lot of people to start, but just do it. Just start sometime, whether that's next week, today, in a month or two from now. And again, it's a journey. It's not about, oh, it's beginning of the year, I'm going to start, but it's really maintaining that momentum, and it's a lifelong journey. It's a lifestyle change. I want to show with you and be very vulnerable. This is one of the tools I use also. It's called a weight loss tracker. And what I did is I put my, when I created this, I put a start and then an end of where my goal weight was going to be. And then I highlighted on here different rewards for what I was going to do, and also my ultimate reward. So some of the rewards, like I would have different milestones, so you can see the different colors. So on here I had orange was a pedicure, yellow was a hot stone massage, red was new clothes, purple were new shoes, and green I got a new hair color, and then my blue highlighted one was a weekend trip. And so as I get closer to my goal weight, then I increase the frequency of those things that I can receive. And I really love this because honestly, I've had this on my refrigerator. I posted this, created it, put it on it's been on my refrigerator since 2019, and I'm not there yet. And so every day I have it on my refrigerator, and then I mark off, like when I get that goal or have that weight that I've achieved, then I mark that off, and then I put the date on it. And again, I've got some back here from January 2020. And then as you can see, I have plateaued. And the last time that I had lost weight this year, and again, I'm being very vulnerable and sharing this with you. But that was back in August. And a lot of things have transpired since then. I traveled a lot, and I had some weddings, and then we had birthdays come up and Thanksgiving and all kinds of stuff. And again, it's not an excuse, but I didn't take this down. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to stop with my goal of weighing 130 pounds. I'm going to keep this on my refrigerator until I get there. And the beauty of this is that it helps communicate to me that look how far I've gone, number one, but also it's a journey. It's not about basically stopping and then giving up. It's a process. And so I want to share that tool with you today as well. Another thing that I've utilized for weight loss specifically is I create like a calendar. And then I also do a food journal. And so I've got like the days of the month, and then I've got like a note here, eat lots of veggies. And then I'll also write down my weight and where I was during that date as well. And so a lot of times I found, and I've got this written out from several months back, where when I see that I've gained a little bit of weight, and I write down my food journal and what I ate the last several days before that, then I see what is not working for me, but also what works. So like there's been times this last year, especially, where I lost a lot of weight, and I noticed like what foods worked well for me and what pattern, and then I can go back and see the success too. So again, just a couple ideas for you. Another thing that I do have that's huge with any kind of goal that you have is there's a lot of really mindset that you need to work through, where some of those limiting beliefs are things that we've been taught when we were little kids, and for some reason we hold on to those, and so we really got to work through that. And so another thing that I do too is I've got notes all over, and here's a note that I'll share where I've got this posted in several places of my apartment where it says, I am disciplined, I am focused, I have integrity, I follow through, I am decisive, I make good decisions. And the reason why I do that is because we need to make sure that we're speaking to our subconscious. Our conscious mind, believe it or not, only is accountable for, I might be getting the math wrong, but basically 0.09% of our daily decisions. So the rest of our decisions are made from our subconscious mind, which are 99.1% of the rest of our decisions are made from our subconscious mind. And believe it or not, we remember everything, we don't necessarily remember it, but everything that we have from when we were born all the way up through our whole entire life is in our mind, and we don't remember it. And so a lot of what we learn about our self-image from society or movies or our family or belief system, church or society, all of those are in our subconscious about our beliefs about our health, our finances, every area of our life, who we are, we identify as. And so sometimes those are not good. Sometimes those come from maybe Hollywood, where women are supposed to look and act a certain way, and we need to work through that, or I've had to work through that in, telling myself that I'm enough. And there's some previous videos that I shared about how some things you can do on self-love. So check those out if you want to. But all of that's just working through that. And so it's not, what I found in my health journey especially is that it's not just about losing weight. Really, it was a lot about what was that weight serving me? And I actually did some some hypnotherapy. And I realized, like, she asked the question, she's like, what is that weight serving you as? Like, what is the reason for the weight? And I found out that I was hiding. I put on a lot of weight after I had been through a really scary time in my life. And I was hiding. I didn't want attention from men, and I didn't want to be treated in a certain way that I had been. And so subconsciously I was eating and not exercising and hiding, really. And so maybe ask yourself, journal, and try to, just ask yourself the question, what is this weight serving? And, try to identify some of those underlying belief systems that you might have around it. Let me look at my notes. I wanted to talk about a couple other things. So when you find yourself in a period where you're not motivated, or like me, it's been several months since I've been on the downward slope of losing weight, where I've gained some weight, maybe lost some. So what do you do? What can you do for yourself to get back on track, right? Sometimes what you might need is an accountability buddy. Sometimes that's why they've got gym memberships, and they've got classes that you can go to, where some people need that group accountability. There's a lot of great trainers. If you need some ideas for some people who are very successful in this area, please let me know, and I would be happy to recommend a few. I've got some friends that have been highly successful in this realm as well. For me, I just like a routine. I like to be able to get up in the morning. I like to exercise at home. And so I've been able to find that if I go on a walk at least an hour a day, or do some planks or do some sit-ups and just get in that morning routine system and be consistent with it, that's what helps me. Another thing that you can do too is you might find that maybe it's just a mental block where you think about exercising. This was something that I had thought about, like, I just beat myself up every day. It's like, oh no, I didn't exercise. And so there was like several weeks in a row or months that had gone by, and I was so upset with myself because I was disappointed in myself because I didn't exercise. Well, I met with a lady and she just had wonderful advice. And, what was happening is I was getting wrapped up in my mind that, oh my gosh, exercising needs to be at least 30 minutes, strenuous, sweat pouring down my back and down my face, and really intense. And gosh, she gave me some great advice, and she said, just exercise for 5 minutes, make it a win. And that was awesome. So I did that. I exercised for 5 minutes. And what that looked like for me is I walked on my treadmill for 5 minutes. And I could say, hey, I exercised that day. And day after day after day after doing that, I felt so good. And it was just, instead of a defeat in my mind, instead of getting defeated and saying I didn't do it, I was able to say, I exercised today. And again, you can use this in different areas in your life, whether that's finances, where you can say, okay, I need to pay off this debt. And if you pay like $10 towards a hospital bill or $20 towards a hospital bill every month, in time, it will show progress, right? So these techniques you can use across whichever area that you want to focus on, whichever area that you feel you need to work on in your life. And another major one that I was able to work through was finances. I was able to get debt free and get out of that mental state of, and the challenge of having a lot of debt. One of the things that I did, I paid off over $30,000 in debt, and it felt amazing. And I was able to keep myself that. But again, I had some help with my dad. My dad, unfortunately, had passed away, and he left me a little bit of money, enough money so that I was able to get debt free. But I'm excited to say that I was able to maintain that and walk away from a job that wasn't serving me mentally, and it wasn't filling my heart with passion and purpose and giving me a lot of joy. And so when you have that debt freedom, that financial freedom, you're able to make choices for yourself to get yourself in a better position to give back and to live a better life. And so if your financial area, I know this time of year, a lot of people kind of go into debt for whatever reason with their resources. But again, a couple tools that you can use for that is, what is your relationship with money? What did money look like when you were a child? Did you have a lack, or do you have an abundant mindset? Were you told when you were a little kid that you never had enough money to buy things, or was that drilled into your mind over and over? I remember my brother and I joke about this, but I remember when we were kids and we would go out to a restaurant and Dad would say, only get water, you can't get pop to drink. And so I was conditioned that pop was too expensive, that I didn't have choices, and that basically I didn't deserve to get those types of luxuries, right? Well, I know it's kind of an exaggeration, but really it taught me that we had a lack mentality. There wasn't enough money to be able to buy pop. And it was so funny because later in my adult life, I transferred some of that to my children, where it was this lack mentality where we didn't have enough money to buy certain things, or we couldn't do this or that because of money. And, the way we word things are so important. And so instead, it comes into, like I was talking about, our subconscious mind. Our mind is always listening to us. And so we need to be careful about how we talk. And when we say we don't have enough money, guess what? We're not going to have enough money. And so be careful with the things that you're teaching your children, or even compounding in your own mind, where, maybe you could reword it a little bit differently. Like, we're not going to buy this at this time, or, there's different ways that you can reword things. And again, money is, a lot of people put a lot of, just hold it in as an idol, I guess, for lack of better terms. But really what money boils down to is it's just an exchange of energy. It really is. Like, you work to get money and then you receive it. And then you also give money to receive something. So it's just an exchange of energy. There's a lot of really good books you can read. And there's one book that I've been reading. It's called Think and Grow Rich. And there's some philosophies around abundance thinking and trying to break through some of those limiting beliefs around money as well. So I hope those help. Today I shared a few tips on working through some health goals, some financial goals, and setting up some positive mindset around goals, and some ideas on what you can do to get back into the groove of things. Really just do it. Get back into it, start somewhere. And just because you haven't done some of your goals, or you backslid a little bit on some of your goals, and just get back on, start somewhere, start small, set yourself up for success. If you want to work with me, please reach out. I'd be happy to connect. If you want some more ideas on how you can, on what goal setting looks like, how you can work through those, some tools and techniques on what that might look like for you individually, specifically, or you want to hear a little bit about more of my journey, I would love to connect. I will post some information below this video on how to contact me. You can also support me by purchasing some of my art on my website, or NFTs. And if you want to learn more about what NFTs are and why they're important, I would be happy to share that as well. Stay tuned for some future video content. Please subscribe if you want to hear more about goal setting and different ways to help grow your life. Sending you lots of love. Thank you.